Alliance-12 for the Object 279E. Pretty straightforward. 3 out of 7 battles, we need to be the top player in the match in damage blocked. That is your team as well as the enemy's team. And if we want to do the secondary, which I did do, we need to be 4 out of 7 battles the top player in damage. The great thing about this is you don't need to win. Doesn't really matter. In fact, unfortunately, because of the way that this mission is designed, you really don't want to contribute to winning as you're doing this. It's just the nature of some of these missions. So the tank that I decided to do this in is the Tier 8 American tank destroyer, the T-28. I decided to do Tier 8 for a couple of different reasons, but I picked this tank in particular because it has great armor. Honestly, that's just the reason. There's nothing else about this tank that made me pick it, except for being Tier 8. And you want to do this at Tier 8 because the armor is certainly lower, but the number of gold rounds that are spammed at Tier 8 is lower than, say, Tier 9 or 10. The downside of this tank, obviously, is a slow, terrible turn rate. It's got a fixed gun. The gun is pretty good, but not super amazing. All we care about here is the armor that we're going to bring to the battle. Now, as far as equipment, there's only one thing that you really want to focus on is no camo. You do not want to have camo on your tank for this. Anything else really doesn't matter. In fact, I didn't do this intentionally, but it just turned out that the crew that I used for this, simply because I bought this tank back for this mission, didn't have any camo scale. I didn't put camo net on. I happened to have camo paint on it, but that's about it. And you want the 2 repair kits because you will get tracked. Now, there are good alternatives. If you're going to do this with your turret, I would say do it with the Tier 8 heavy tank, the T-32 out of the American line. The turret just holds up. Even at Tier 10, that turret will hold up. It's going to be a little bit more about positioning because your hull is weak. If you want to do this in a TD, you can do it in the British line as well with the Tortoise, not the other glass cannon line, but the Tortoise line. And again, I would do it at Tier 9 and not at Tier 10. Just gets you a little less gold spam. Now, I'm only going to show you 2 matches here. This is actually my 3rd battle after completing it successfully twice in the first 2 battles. This is exactly what you don't want to do. See how close I am to this T-44 right here? This is not what we want in this situation, okay? First of all, a couple things. I'm doing damage. You saw me take shots at that guy in the distance. Bad idea, okay? Now, the reason that guy in the distance is not penning me and the T-44 is one, his aim at distance is not going to enable him to hit weak spots, and 2, because he's so far out, the pen on his rounds is actually dropping off, and none of that is true for the T-44. So don't play it like that. You want to be as far back as possible. Now, this is the second match I'm going to show you. This was actually the 6th match, which got me this. This is exactly the scenario that you want to be in. You're at distance. You sort of have a very controlled angle of attack that people are hitting you from. They're not going to be able to hit your weak spots very effectively. I don't even care if I'm permatracked right here, which I am. Well, I guess I'm not. I do have a repair kit, but I mean, look at these shells. They're so far off. Their pen is dropping. I only have a couple very small weak spots on the top of my turret. They can't accurately hit those at distance. Occasionally, I'm just going to fire off shots so that I don't go unspotted to them. This is the perfect scenario. I don't know exactly how much damage I blocked in that match, but that's exactly what you want to see. And that's how you're going to complete Alliance-12, okay? Now, a couple things. Stay at distance, obviously. The further back you are, the lower the pen is going to be at the enemy shells. The less likely they're going to be to accurately hit your weak spots. So just do that. Avoid camo in your tank. Avoid bushes if you can. You want to be seen, right? You want people to shoot at you. And as you saw in that second video, control the angle of attack. So you see I didn't push out from behind that building so people can get side shots on me. That's exactly what you want to be doing. Now, the last thing I'll say here is you really don't want to be hitting tanks. And there's a couple of reasons for this. One, if you do damage, you're just, going to create a situation where that tank may back off and not expose himself to shoot at you. You want them to shoot at you. The second reason is if you bounce, you're just fighting against yourself in getting this mission done, right? You're just giving block damage to someone who may outblock you, and you don't want that. So just if you can avoid it, don't fire at tanks, right? And that's as simple as that. So this is a pretty straightforward one, guys. It should only take you one attempt to knock this out, and I really hope this video helps you. So I will see you on the next one.